Hey there, welcome back to this program, How to Strike It Big as an Internet Marketing Consultant and Coach. Let's continue on. This is part two, the second video. I want to talk a little bit about the mindset of your clients, the mindset of your customers who are paying you for coaching. I think this is really important because I have seen so much when it comes to mindset for my clients and customers over the years that this is a pretty important part of you being a coach and a successful one at that. Now, I need you to understand that in this presentation that I'm going to give you right now, there's a little bit of controversy of some of the stuff I'm going to say, but I'm not here for you to be your best friend or to be all fluffy, politically correct or anything like that. I'm going to tell it like it is. And I think you should respect that because a lot of people out there don't do that. So I'm going to tell it like it is, and hopefully that falls on the right ground with you because this is just the way that it is. But most of the time, I'm dealing with my clients' mindset. I'm dealing with their psychology. I'm dealing with their psychological barriers that they've thrown up and have created over the years, their rituals, their habits, their limited beliefs, their self-limiting beliefs. I'm dealing with fears all the time, their handicaps to their own success, and on and on and on. This is something that I always have to deal with clients, and even high-level clients that are already really successful. And if I was to hire a coach to coach me, I bet you some of the stuff that coach would deal with me would be similar things. So I'm not picking on anyone. I'm not pointing my finger at people saying, weak-minded people, you need help. That's not what I'm doing at all. I've invested pretty much on a daily basis for the past 20 years on reprogramming my own brain and stuff, and I still have a long way to go. So that's not what I'm doing. But I am telling you that this is what you're going to deal with the most. For example, I could talk to someone about driving traffic, converting that traffic, creating products, building a list, managing a list, technical, everything that's required in order to make money on the internet. And what I would get in response would be mindset type excuses and stuff like, well, in my country, they don't allow me to have credit cards, or they don't allow PayPal, or it would be something along the lines of, well, I don't think I could do what you do, or I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money to invest in that, or it's going to require too much expertise. And so there's a lot of excuses, a lot of mindset type stuff that has to be rearranged and stewarded in the right direction. And that's what you deal with the most when it comes to a lot of your clients, is being more of their therapist. So I'm constantly spending most of my time lifting barriers, removing blocks, and allowing them to go after their dreams, because they're really their worst enemy when it comes to achieving wealth or success or their whatever it is they're trying to achieve. So identifying the barriers that your students have and then lifting those barriers or eliminating them or softening them even sometimes can be all it takes for your clients to just be a raving fan of yours, and for them to be able to move forward and start achieving success. Because I'm here to tell you, you start helping some people and you start getting some of those people to achieve results, because not all of them are going to achieve results. Some of them are just not ready. Some of them are not going to do what you tell them to do. Some of them are not coachable at all. Some of them, it's going to be incredibly difficult to get any kind of success out of them. And that's not your fault. It shouldn't be your fault if you're doing the best you can trying to help them. But if you identify barriers and then spend your time lifting those barriers or removing those blocks, then your customers, your clients can, your students, mentees, can start moving forward and achieving success. Because really, the name of the game when it comes to achievement is removing barriers. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's weight loss, if it's financial planning, if it's, health and fitness, or making money, or running a business, or getting traffic. I mean, there's barriers that people throw up that prevent them from achieving those dreams. So removing those dreams and those fears is what I spend a lot of times doing. I'm an ear also. I'm a shoulder to lean on, and I listen to listening is such a big part of this. But I listen to what they're looking for, what they believe they need. I ask a lot of questions, and it leads me to their barriers, and then I realize that those are the barriers that need to be removed. For example, I remember having a client who just, pretty much a self-limiting belief that people in this market do not spend more than $100 or $200 on stuff. Very, very few people would spend more than a couple $100 on an internet marketing course or product, and that's completely wrong. Tons and tons and tons and tons of people will spend $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 on a particular course. So That's a belief that I had to dismiss. And so it took listening to figure that out, and then it took some creativity to get this person to believe that they could actually sell stuff that was expensive. Now, I'm going to give you another example. This client just kept giving me excuse after excuse after excuse. I asked her to write down 25 reasons why she is not rich currently. And you could try this now too, if you dare. Write down 25 reasons why you are not wealthy already, or why you are not successful already, or write down 25 reasons why you haven't achieved what you want to achieve. And you can stop the video right now and do this yourself. It's an incredible exercise. So before we move forward into the next bullet point or slide here, stop the video and just quickly write down 25 reasons why you believe you're not success or rich already. So I asked her to do that. Write down 25 reasons why she was not successful. And, she just kept giving me magic buttons, and she kept giving me excuses and reasons why she was not able to achieve success. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough expertise. I don't have enough talent. I don't have enough skills. I don't have enough abilities. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not charismatic enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I wasn't raised right. My parents this. The country I live in, the way the market is, the economy, the taxes, it just goes on and on and on and on and on, right? So those excuses are what I lift, those barriers, and by working with people on those things, they achieve incredible results by just getting past a lot of those barriers and doing a lot of the things that they know they should be doing but they're not doing. So magic buttons, I say stop chasing magic buttons and get to work on your plan, right? I say that all the time to my clients. And the client says, "You're right, Eric. Dang it, I need to get back on track here. I need to stop chasing magic buttons." "You're right, Eric. I need to stop chasing magic buttons." And then the next week comes, and I'm on a one-on-one call with the client, and the client said, "Hey, I installed this new plugin. Ever heard of it?" Once again, just magic button after magic button after magic button. And sometimes it doesn't matter what I say. I can't get through. And I've actually had clients and customers that have come back, a couple of years later and said, "You know how you used to always tell me to ignore the magic buttons? I finally did, and I've been achieving all this money and this revenue and this success. Finally." So sometimes it takes a repetition and time for it to really finally sink in. But this is what happens with your clients. They will spend a lot of time looking for them. They may spend 3 or 4 years looking for a magic button, okay? If you think about it, 3 or 4 years looking for a quick fix. Did you catch that? 3 or 4 years looking for a quick fix. It doesn't happen. So why not just start and do it the right way from the very beginning? It's like I'm a doctor as a coach, and I diagnose my clients as having the magic button disease. And this goes for weight loss and other niches too, not just internet marketing, make money online. But it really is like I'm a doctor and I'm diagnosing my clients as having this disease, which is the magic button disease. And each month I'm trying to cure the disease or suppress it. That's kind of what I do a lot, especially in the internet marketing market. So I want to support them, and you want to support your clients. Help them conquer those barriers. Help them escape those comfort zones. Push them to escape those comfort zones. Be in their ear. Push them face to face. Get them to face their fears. Get them to help them transform themselves. Because if they want more, they've got to become more. To achieve more, you've got to become more. And so when you focus on helping your clients become more as individuals, and they've got to be coachable, and some of them know that they're not very coachable and they're set in their ways, and it's really difficult nut to crack there, but you want to help them become more. And I try to do that by getting them to see things in a different paradigm, to see it in a different light, and to understand that they can do it too. And then when they start to do it too, and kind of escape that comfort zones, or those comfort zones, plural, then they start to transform themselves. Like someone could say to me, "I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to eat right. I don't have time to lose weight. I'm too busy. I got 10 kids and 2 jobs, and just going for a walk, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack, so I just don't do it," and yada, yada, yada. Those are barriers that need to be removed, right? You do have time. You can always find time. Stop watching American Idol or Dancing with the Stars and go for a 10-minute walk. Just start by walking down the street to the mailbox and back. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Just cut 500 calories a day out of your daily calorie intake, and you'll lose weight. So there's a lot that people can do So it's not that they can't lose weight. It's not that they can't get healthy or get in shape. It's that they continue to have these habits and excuses that prevent them from doing that. So what you want to do is help them to achieve more by getting them to break through these barriers. Now, you do this with any specific thing that you're coaching people to do, and you'll start to transform lives. The more lives you start to transform, even on a very simple basis, the more confidence you will gain in coaching people, the more confidence you'll gain in charging higher prices to coach people, the more confidence you'll gain in marketing your coaching services to the marketplace to get more and more clients and customers, the more confident that will come across to your customers when you're teaching them stuff. So the more likely they will follow through with your instructions or directions or advice. And then, it's just all connected, which I say a lot. It's all connected, but it is. The more you push your own barriers and break free of your own comfort zones, and the more you'll be able to help other people do the same thing, even if it's by being an example. But that's what I do all the time to help my clients achieve more. One of the best things I ever did was to start working out and focusing on healthy living again. And you know what? My bank account and my energy and my positive flow has never been the same since. Changed my life completely. Now I'm trying to eat less, eat better food. I don't eat double cheeseburgers every day from Whataburger here in Texas. I'm eating healthy food and vegetables and getting my minerals and vitamins and exercising, and I feel great, right? I've gotten more energy, which has created more confidence, which has created more activity, which has created more action, which has created more comfort zones that I'm escaping, and my bank account reflects. That's just the way it works. It's all connected. I want to talk a little bit about leadership. Sometimes leadership requires tough love and brutal honesty. Now, later on, when we get into the step-by-steps of building a six-figure income as a coach, we will talk a little bit about leadership and how you present yourself and position yourself. But I want to tell you that sometimes leadership just requires you to swallow hard and, bring some tough love and brutal honesty to some people. Even if they may not take it right the first time, you know that you're doing what you need to be doing as a coach and a leader to tell them the truth and tell them, hey, you just have way too many excuses. You need to stop having excuses and start getting to work. Let's start with the first step. Don't move to the second step until you finish the first step. This is a fine line to walk here. Too much and they turn on you, okay? You give a little bit too much brutal honesty and too much tough love, they turn on you and they reject it, right? And maybe even be a little vindictive. If you have too little tough love, then they just don't hear it and just flies right over their head. Compliment, reprimand, compliment is what I learned from like the 1 Minute Manager back in like the early 1990s when I read that book. But when you're going to coach somebody or reprimand somebody or bring some constructive criticism, the best way to do it is to give them a compliment first, then reprimand, and then give them a compliment to end, okay? Another thing you can do is use the word I instead of you. And by the way, on compliment, reprimand, compliment would go something like this. Hey, Susan, you know what? You do a really good job as a salesperson for me. I love watching the sales fly in from everything that you do. I just want to tell you that if you could get your paperwork to equal how great you are at sales, then you would be the dynamic star that I know you can be. So I'd love for you to start, handling your paperwork well, okay? Because you're a great salesperson, and I love the fact that you work here and that you're a great salesperson. And so just keep on rocking and roll as a salesperson, okay? So what I did there is I gave Susan a compliment, then I reprimanded her softly, and then I gave her another compliment. That's the best way to persuade someone to transform themselves, and I do that all the time with my coaching clients. I also try to use the word I instead of you. Now, there's a crossover here because you want to use the word you often in your sales materials, in your sales copy, and your persuasion direction, but also using the word I can help to alleviate this rejection that your clients could subconsciously give you instead of changing and transforming themselves. So I use the word I instead of you. And for example, I'll say something like, what I think is really an important thing is for people, see, I'm not even saying you, I'm saying people, is for people to, focus on traffic and conversions instead of all the other things. So I'm saying I'm putting it on my shoulders as opposed to pointing my finger at you and saying you, right? So here's another one. I feel the best thing to do is focus on your focus, in my opinion, I think. All right, train them early also. Now we're going to get into some more logistics as far as how to handle your clients. But I want to tell you, you want to train your clients early, all right? You've got to train them early or they're going to end up training you. Pretty important, huh? If you don't train your clients early, they're going to end up training you. You'll be running around in circles like a chicken with his head cut off if you don't train your clients first. For example, you can schedule calls on Mondays. Mondays are the days that you do your one-on-one calls, for example. So if someone can't make it on Monday, well, so what? I mean, too bad. It's your way or the highway. You start training people early, and then they will adhere to those rules that you set in place. You can say the calls last 45 minutes or less, and that's non-negotiable. It will not go over 45 minutes. When the clock rings, ding, and it's been 45 minutes, that's done, right? It's over. You can email your feedback on Fridays, email me your feedback on Friday. You have your rules as far as how you're going to operate your business, your consulting business, and they have to respect those rules. If not, it will drive you insane. So email me your questions on Monday when you schedule. 10 minutes late equals a canceled meeting. All these different things are rules that you can come up with and let your clients know at the very beginning so they know what they're dealing with so they won't abuse you, because if they can, they will, right? Scheduling time. Most people think coaching takes up way too much of their time. This is a big insight for you, so pay attention to this. If you're on the fence on whether you should do coaching or consulting or not, and if you're thinking that when you do coaching, you're trading time for money and that you only have so much time and it just sounds like a ton of work, and that can be true if you let it. But I want you to understand something important here. I mix one-on-ones with group and email coaching. This really frees up my time because people don't always need one-on-ones. They get a lot of their answers with group coaching. They get a lot of direction with the assignments I give them, and so they are still working on their assignments and don't feel the need to have so many one-on-ones as you may think that they will have. So this really frees up my time a lot. However, the big secrets here nobody talks about, nobody in this market, is that a percentage of clients are very busy too and rarely schedule time with you. They prefer quick emails with answers, or they just disappear on you anyway. The birds got them, okay? So you want to make sure and have your parameters that they have to operate within, your rules, but also understand that, you may offer 52 one-on-ones this year and only end up doing, 4 or 5 per client on average. It's because they're not using the one-on-ones. They're busy and life gets in the way and all kinds of things happen. But so understand that even though it may seem like you're going to be spending an incredible amount of time coaching your clients, it actually is not that bad if you manage it properly. And it can also be set up to where most of your clients end up being in the group coaching anyway. So because once you have them going and they're rolling, then they only have basic questions here and there, right? It's getting them off the ground is usually the hardest part. And then from there, it's maintenance. So schedule time with me on Mondays only. If you contact on Tuesday, it's going to be the following Monday when you're going to have the appointment. So like this is an example. If I'm doing my appointments on Mondays and then someone hits me up on Tuesday wanting an appointment, I'll be like, sure, but it's not going to be till next Monday because Mondays are the days I do my one-on-ones. Get it? I try to have a coaching day and not have it all chopped up throughout the week. That's just painful for me. So, for example, Tuesday is coaching day. And that day, I knock it all out on one day. If needed, I might do Tuesday and Wednesday too, depending on how many active clients I have. That usually happens when it's a new coaching offer where I just brought in a whole bunch of new people into my classes or into my one-on-one coaching program. Now I may need to expand it to Tuesday and Wednesday, but later on down the road it goes back to just being Tuesday. And heck, if I keep going without bringing on a lot of new clients, it can get down to where it's only Tuesday mornings. Because once you get them going, they don't need you as much. That's why coaching and mentors can make $100,000, $200,000 a month and continue to keep living this free, abundant lifestyle, because they realize once they get their clients going, they need less and less of their time. So getting them off the ground is really the most important part. Funnel them into group coaching. Once you get them going, put them into the group coaching program. They get all their answers there. They get their instructions. They get their opportunity to send you private messages in the webinar platform or wherever you're doing this. One group call can knock out 80% of the questions, the needs, the time, etc. that your clients have. Even though on your sales page or sales video for your coaching program you're offering one-on-one time, doesn't mean that they'll all use it, okay? In fact, most of them won't. Most of them will use it a little bit at the beginning, and then they'll show up for your group calls because it's just easier for them and they're able to continue on. And sometimes they have not done the assignments that you've given them, so they feel a little bit embarrassed to do it one-on-one, but they'll show up in a group coaching setting to continue to get instructions from you. So 2 one-on-one sessions available per month does not mean they will schedule them with you, okay? Automatic sessions equals huge premium, and it also equals burnout too. So I want you to understand that if you're going to bring on someone as a coaching client of yours, you should not say, okay, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. is your slot, and here's the automatic, time slot that we're going to do each week. If you're going to do something, or if I'm going to do something like that, you better believe I'm going to charge a ton of money. It's going to be a huge premium, okay? And then also that means I'm going to get burned out pretty fast as well, so I will limit the amount of automatic sessions that they're going to get. So you want to balance this out with how much you charge. If I'm going to do automatic sessions, I'm charging, for me, it's going to be, $10,000 plus, right? Dollars. And then because it's automatic sessions, I may not do it for 6 months. It may be for 2 or 3 months. Whereas if I were to charge $2,500 to $3,000 for coaching, then I may coach them for 6 months to a year, as long as they're not automatic sessions. If they're automatic sessions, I'm going to charge a ton, because those are appointments that I have to go to. And as an internet marketer, I don't like being locked into weekly appointments, right? I want to be able to have my freedom and flexibility. That's the benefit of being an internet marketer. However, when you have your group calls, knowing that you can wipe out a bunch of people at the same time, then those can end up being automatic sessions, but don't make them automatic sessions forever. Chop them up, 6 weeks of every Wednesday at 2 p.m. and then they end, and then they have to re-register, and then you do 4 more weeks at Thursdays at 9 p.m. and you just kind of mix it up based on your schedule. For example, for me, my son was playing t-ball in the spring, and his games were at certain times. I rearranged my schedule so, to go to his games, which meant my clients needed to rearrange their schedule with me. So most of the questions are the same from client to client. For example, we found most of the time when most of the people that we surveyed, and this goes back 7 years now, most of the time their issues revolved around time, focus, traffic, and getting started in psychology. So in other words, I asked them, what's the most important thing to you that's preventing you from succeeding? Or I get them to fill out that exercise we did earlier, where it's fill out the top 25 reasons why you're not wealthy already. And one of the most important excuses is time. So time is a big deal. And in fact, it really is a big deal when it comes to success. If you really want to break success down to its bare essence, it's time management. Because everyone only has 24 hours in a day. Even billionaires only have 24 hours in a day. So it's really how we choose to spend that time, right? It's how we choose to spend each minute or each hour of the day. It's how we choose, the choices we choose. So time is a really important factor. Anyway, most of my clients, if you ask them what their biggest challenges are, they're going to say time. They're going to say, well, I don't have time. I got 10 kids and we have all these functions, and, I work hard. I got 2 jobs. I got, I only get 6 hours of sleep at night, and I'm always like, where there's a will, there's a way. Hire a maid, hire a babysitter, wake up an hour earlier. I don't know, but there's always an answer to time. People think they don't have any time. They do. And if not, then you rearrange some things and focus on it. Next is focus. So many people lack focus, and that's one of the biggest barriers to success that there is, especially internet marketing. I mean, it's so easy to lose your focus. I mean, one second you're thinking about conquering the world as an Amazon publisher, and then all of a sudden something catches your eye on Facebook, and you disappear for the next 2 hours invested in some sales video that's on some new product that's about to come out, and they're in pre-launch, and you just get all wrapped up in that. And before you know it, you completely forgot about what it is that you were going to conquer the world with. Sound familiar? That's focus. It's a big problem with most people that you're going to come in contact with as far as people that you will coach. So you want to focus on your focus, and you want to make sure that your clients and customers, that you're constantly helping them focus. That you're constantly helping them manage their time and constantly helping them focus. Now, when it comes to internet marketing, you may find that, one of the big problems is traffic too. I mean, that's the big one. Everyone thinks that the reason they're not making any money is traffic. And so you'll get to realize pretty quickly, if you're coaching others in internet marketing, that traffic is just one piece of the pie. It's a big piece of the pie, but it's only one piece of the pie. And one of the main reasons why people can't get traffic is because they don't have anything to send that traffic to that they control. So they're trying to send traffic to some CPA offer or some affiliate offer. They lose their butt. They lose like $100 or $500 and they quit. Well, really the key is conversions. If they have a squeeze page and a sales funnel and they constantly send traffic to it, constantly focus on it, plus they have an affiliate program and they're constantly recruiting affiliates, they won't have any problems with traffic. But that's another really big common one that they have in the marketplace. So your ability to help them get traffic or teach them how to go get traffic will make you a successful internet marketing coach indeed. Okay? The next is just getting started. I'll run into people that have been in this business for 3, 4, 5, 10 years, and they still haven't even gotten started. It's like, what have you been doing the past 10 years? They don't have an offer. They don't have a squeeze page. They don't have a list. They don't have a product to sell. They don't have a brand. They don't have anything. But they have like all this software on their hard drive, all these courses, all these ebooks, all this stuff. They just keep talking themselves out of things. So just getting them off the ground started with a squeeze page, a front-end offer, a back-end offer, an autoresponder, and a list, and start getting some traffic is like the greatest thing that could ever happen to them, because it knocks down the wall. It knocks down the barrier. And lastly, before we conclude this video, the biggest one of all is psychology. You'll see. I mean, I don't care if it's weight loss or it's making money, if it's dating or relationships. It doesn't matter what it is. If they're paying you for coaching, there's going to be some psychology involved that you're going to have to overcome. Their psychology, their barriers, limiting beliefs, excuses, handicaps, stuff like that. And so you want to make sure that you help them with that. Now, but also realize you're not a psychiatrist unless you are a psychiatrist. But if you're not a psychiatrist or psychologist, then realize that you're not that. So don't beat yourself up about that, and realize that this is a problem that most of the world has. So that means most of the world could be potential clients of yours. But when it comes down to it, people limit their own beliefs. They limit themselves. They have fears and emotions that prevent them from succeeding. They have bad habits, and they're not coachable, and they're not ready to change. But understand that if they're paying you money, there's some psychology that's going to be involved as far as helping them to achieve their goals and dreams. Okay, thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.